We're now in the main factory floor of the old Casa Máquina. This area was where they had the shredding machines. This is where most of the work was actually done. The building that we just saw housed the machinery, but this is where the people were actually working, and this is where they were actually processing the henequen. It's open on both sides, and that would allow air to keep the workers cool, but also the factory floor was built up off the ground, and below was a little train cart that would fall all the debris from the shredding of the plants, haul it away, and then on the main floor they would actually bundle up the strands of the henequen, take it out to the fields, dry it, bale it, and send it to Mérida. Today this is the most recent area of renovation for the hacienda. It's one of the principal living areas because, as we've always mentioned before, we live outside most of the time here. You have a dining room, you have a living area. Both sides look out onto gardens. It's very open, but on this side, the northern side, we have pull-down shades that will allow you to block some of the cooler air and some of the rain in the winter months. This indoor-outdoor living room and dining area, all of the furniture was designed by the architect and produced locally. One of the most interesting features in this particular area is a fireplace. Normally, because of our heat, we do not need a fireplace, but since this is an outdoor room with lots of airflow facing the north, in the winter months you could actually use a fireplace here. Here we have the third part of the Casa de Máquinas. This part was originally a bodega, which is basically a storage room. It has a nice, very formal facade that actually mirrors the old engine room, except this one has a finished stucco on it, so you can see the colors, you can see the details of the arches. This is an unusual arch. It's an arch we found at this hacienda, but not in many other places. Between the two buildings, we have a garden courtyard area surrounded by a variety of palms, but inside we have 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Let's go inside. In this building, we have 3 bedrooms, each with its own private bath. This bathroom is quite nice. It has a double wooden door with screen that goes out to a private garden. The architect was able to use a nice mix of an older style door in some areas, but more of a modern style door in different areas. Same thing with the countertops. It's more of a modern style countertop and sink, but they did more of a traditional tile in the back. The floor is polished concrete with marble inlays. It's a nice mix of both the new and the old. Just off this bathroom is a second bedroom. This bedroom has the very, very high ceilings with the double wood beams. The back side of this wall is totally washed in sunlight from the skylights. In this bedroom we have a totally wood bed, all custom designed by the local architect and built by local craftsmen. Same thing with the armoire and the dresser. The floors in this room are pasta tile framed by concrete. They used very neutral colors, which give it a very nice soft feel. Between the 2 bedrooms, we have a common hallway. This hallway gives you access to both the garden, the large bedroom, and the 2 smaller bedrooms. This bedroom is quite nice because it has a view to a fish garden with a fountain, a very nice soaring wall with the same architectural striped lines and the same beam ceilings. This time the bed is an all-metal bed, also custom designed. Same thing with the dresser and the armoire. The bathroom for this bedroom has its own private garden, as well as a few extra details. You can see some of the old wooden beams that were used to support some of the machinery when it was a working hacienda. Same thing here, we have a nice mix of old style faucets but modern style countertops. It's the blend of the new and the old. And here we have the master bedroom, which is Sophie's bedroom. This bedroom was originally the bodega, the storage room, but they took this space. The first time it was renovated, it was an art gallery, or art studio type space, and then more recently it's been renovated into the master bedroom. They did lots of extra details, such as marble countertops for this dressing table, built-in sofa. We have polished concrete floors throughout this room, And this is an interesting feature. It's a recessed seating area with bamboo shades over these lamps. Very one of a kind. Custom-made wooden bed designed by the architect and built by local craftsmen with 2 armoires, this time his and hers closet space. They use screens made out of wood to give you a little bit of privacy, but to still keep the airflow between the bedroom and the bathroom. In the bathroom, we have a counter that is much like a mirror image of the dressing table in the other room. This time we have the hand-polished and hand-cut sinks, his and her sinks. This room is like one of the other baths we saw. It has the polished concrete with the stone, the marble stone inlays. Once again, the very high ceilings and access to a garden. This time the garden has a private pool. In Yucatan, one of our favorite areas in the evening is a roof terrace. With the roof terrace, you see the sky, the moon, the stars, plus we have great air at night. But sometimes you have to figure out a way to transition between an old hacienda and how to get to the roof terrace without looking odd. In this instance, they decided to build a staircase, a circular staircase, that's housed in a metal sculpture that's truly a work of art. Let's go up and see the roof. The roof terrace is one of my favorite places. At night, you get the fresh air, you get the stars, the moon, and it's just a great place to socialize in the evening. Also from the roof terrace, you get great views. You can see some of the architectural detail of the buildings. In this building, which is where we had the 3 bedrooms, which was the old bodega, you can see that the building was built in a fortress style. The story is the original owner of this property, this hacienda, was an old retired Army general in Mexico, and he wanted that feel. So lots of very detailed work that looks much like a fortress. On this side of the roof terrace, you overlook a tropical garden. Both the tropical garden and the other part of the Casa de la Máquina. In this part, you can see the unfinished concrete. That shows where the parts of the building that have been restored. They wanted to be able to show you what was original and what was restored. So any restored areas they left natural. You notice these are the two buildings of the same style, but this one is painted, this one is not. Just a little bit of a different look. This is a clever idea. This is a star watching pad. It's basically an area where you lie down, look up at the sky at night, and talk. On this side of the roof terrace, you have a view of an old unrestored arch that in some ways is sort of the corazon of the property. Here we have an example of an old Mayan wall. This type of wall has been built in the Yucatan for thousands of years. Today, this is a modern version of the same wall. It's still the stacked stone, but this time it's been caged with a metal frame. Beside it, we have these interesting little tools that are still used today by the gardener who works here every day. These walls are used throughout the hacienda to divide areas, add privacy. Let's see what's behind this wall. A bocce ball court. The perfect thing to entertain your guests all weekend. Many times people will, when you have a hacienda, you have lots of space, so you have guests from the city or guests from another country. This is what you do. You swim by the pool, you play bocce ball.